Hey guys, Lisa Salvatore here, back with an energy report for the week ahead, going up to the new moon, which will be February the 11th at 23 degrees and 17 minutes of Aquarius. So today is February 6th that I'm recording this video. I actually wanted to talk about today specifically, even though I'm kind of late to the game. I wanted to record a couple of days ago and just hadn't gotten around to it. There's quite a lot going on with the sign of Aquarius right now. We are currently under a lot of Aquarian energy, and so you may find that you're much more in your head than normal, feeling much more intellectually connected, wanting to problem solve. It could be a real feeling of motivation, and then again, like I always say, according to your birth chart, that will impact you differently. But today, February 6th, we actually have a couple of things going on that just because the planetary transits happen on a specific day doesn't always mean that they just pass us by and then they're forgotten about. Typically, it's energy, so it is energy, not typically. It's energy, so energy is fluid, and so whatever takes form today with the planets can carry over all week long. And so just because maybe today you may not recognize any result of the energy of the planets, that doesn't mean like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something may not manifest for you or might manifest for you. So today we have a Venus-Saturn conjunction at 5 degrees of Aquarius, and that is all about our relationships right now. And relationships of all kinds, platonic, friendships, groups, could be romantic because we're dealing with Venus and Saturn. Venus is our love planet. It's how we love. It's what we love. It's what we find pleasing and how we do love. That's Venus. And Saturn is our structure and our boundaries. And typically those two are, when they get together in a compatibility analysis, let's just say, longevity can be the result of that because Saturn is long-term. Saturn is structure and tradition, and Venus is love. And so when those two come together, there's often a reality check that takes place because Venus likes to keep things sweet and even, and Saturn, wants things to be the right way. And a lot of people abhor Saturn in astrology. They think he's like the big man of the zodiac that blocks us and limits us. But the reality is, and reality is the best word for Saturn because he's the reality check. He doesn't want to block you. He just wants you to do things the right way and to understand the value of what it is that you have. And Venus is the value, right? So think about that. So around your relationships, your friendships, the groups that you work with throughout, okay? Emotional reality checks could be present at this time. And that doesn't have to be negative at all. It could be very positive. It could go one way or the other, but either way, it's like this reality check where you're recognizing where something may be one way, you thought it was another way, and now you need to rework the structure of that particular relationship or friendship. Let's keep in mind that Mercury is retrograde, so, there is still this element of a scatteredness to the communication that could be taking place, so you just want to be mindful of that you're paying very close attention to what it is that you're receiving in the realm of your relationships. And since it is the retrograde, retrograde, things do get revisited, i.e. relationships, okay? So you could have friends from the past, relationships from the past coming back up into your orbit right now to either be revised, redone, revisited, or actually recapitulated and closed and once and for all. You may have to leave something behind you or leave a group behind or whatever the case may be. Regardless of which way it plays out, if at all for you, just know that Venus-Saturn conjunction is definitely giving us that epiphany, that reality check, and maybe more than one, and in more than one way. And we are under Mercury retrograde, so that tends to happen anyway with Mercury retrograde. So that's the first thing. Venus is also squaring Uranus. So again, Uranus seeks to change things. Saturn likes structure. Venus is love and pleasure and beauty and money and all of that good stuff. So a lot of good is here. It's just that, things could come up out of left field. Uranus is involved. It always can be quick shifts of energy that you're not expecting, but something that could put you on your path or on a different path than you initially thought you were going. This is all present at this time. There's definitely a buzz. There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of Aquarian energy. The sun is in Aquarius. We've got Mercury in Aquarius. We've got Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, all in Aquarius, in the air sign of Aquarius. And then when we build up to that new moon on Thursday, the 11th, the moon will be in Aquarius for a few days. So that is six, right? Yeah, 6 planets that will be in Aquarius. That is an inordinate amount of Aquarian energy. We have not seen that since 1962, okay, when there were 7 planets in Aquarius. This is a good thing, guys. This is like innovation, fresh perspective, forward thinking, futuristic. This is what Aquarius is. It's mental dexterity. It's everything that we want to plan for ourselves, projects, situations, relationships, whatever it is. This is a great time to go inward, because it is a retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Go inward, reflect, and look into what it is that you want to do for yourself, where it is that you're headed, what might need to go, what you may need to leave behind for your own growth and your highest good. Also with this Venus-Saturn conjunction, Venus and Saturn they represent karmic ties, karmic situations, okay? So you could find that revisitations of things from the past are coming back because it's karmic for you. It's like a karmic knot that you need to massage. And ask yourself if it's a repetitive pattern, if this is something that keeps coming up for you within your relationships, friendships, groups that you're dealing with. If there's one specific thing that keeps coming up for you, that is karmic. That's something for you to bring up, feel it, heal it, and clear it, and do what it is that you need to do. If you need to stand up for yourself, this is the time, because you're going to keep getting these situations coming in, and you may really feel it this weekend. Or it might just be carrying over from a previous situation, but you're going to likely feel it this weekend. And the sun in Aquarius is trining the nodes of fate right now, which are in Gemini and Sagittarius. So this is a time of fated encounters, fated circumstances, things coming up for you again because they need to be healed. Some things need to be cut out. Some things need to be reconnected. And this is the time where you're going to start to really notice that energy. So pay really close attention to this week coming up, okay? And Mercury is doing a lot of different aspects that are very pronounced this month, okay? He's in Aquarius. He does like to be in Aquarius. Mercury does well there. However, let's remember, as I've said a million times this video, he is retrograde, so that does still have that scatteredness present, but it isn't as severe as if it were, let's say, in Pisces, okay? Now, so Mercury is going to, I just want to make sure I get the dates right. Mercury will square Mars on the 10th, so that's Wednesday, right before the new moon. Tensions could be high, right? It's a mixed bag of energy. Tensions can be high, so you just want to watch your words, watch your actions, take your time before speaking out something that you might regret. If you feel edgy and you need to not talk to people one day and just completely go inward, honor that, take care of yourself. You won't be doing yourself or others any good if you flip out and fly off the handle when you're trying not to. Unless it's necessary for one of these karmic relationships or situations in your life, then you need to do what you need to do. I myself have been guilty of popping off when I shouldn't. Then Mercury will conjunct Venus on the 12th, which is the day after the new moon, and then also will conjunct Jupiter on the 14th. So Mercury's doing some cool things this month. He's giving us information through all the different planetary sources, but we're picking that up here in all different forms of communication. So through the mail, through emails, through messages, through words, through communication with others. So listen, you need to keep your mind and your heart open, okay? And listen to not only what is being said, but what is not being said. Pay attention to the undercurrents. There's going to be a lot of information coming at you from all different sources and angles. And it's going to be revealing. This is a very revealing time about who you are, more so at the soul level, who needs to come in, who needs to be released, what needs to be released. Again, a very karmic time. The 8th of February, which is Monday, we're going to have a Sun-Mercury conjunction, which is, again, really great for mental clarity. So for that little, every 2 months or so, around there, 2 months, Mercury has its cycle, its new cycle, just like the moon has its cycle, and it conjuncts the sun. And when we have that blip, that moment in time, it's a passage where it's like you can just get this clarity that just comes in. Again, with the retrograde, there still will be clarity, but you may just have to dig a little deeper to receive it, but it's there. A lot of people are actually born with a Sun-Mercury conjunction in their chart because Mercury does not follow that far behind the sun. I have a Sun-Mercury conjunction. Many people do. It's not that uncommon, but it will be a day of clarity. What else did I write down that I wanted to talk about? Oh, and then we get to the new moon. The new moon on February 11th is actually a pretty, I don't want to say nice new moon, but it is a pretty good, feel good moon. It's emotional, even though we're under Aquarian energy, and Aquarius typically is detached emotionally, that's more intellectual, that particular sign. So, but even so, there's still some emotionality that's taking place right now in a positive way. Could feel more loving, more expressive, thinking more and more about, what it is that you have in your life, what it is that you want. And this is going to be at 23 degrees and 17 minutes of Aquarius, this new moon. I would say with this new moon, it's like, it's about freedom to let go, and then freedom to bring in the new, to let in the new. And remember, Aquarius is ruled, modern day ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, but the traditional ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And Saturn and Uranus are squaring each other. So it's really kind of interesting because even though it's a square here, and we're under that energy all year long, basically, it's still like this element of working together because of the fact that Saturn is in Aquarius and traditionally ruled over Aquarius, and then it's squaring Uranus, who's the modern day ruler of Aquarius. So still, it's an energy that can work, but it's going to take a lot of shifting and a lot of changing. I always think of squares in astrology. Square energy is like taking a circle and trying to shove it into a square, or vice versa. You can't quite do it. You could try, you can come up with workable ways around it, but you may not actually be able to get that exact way that you want it to be. And that's what this time is really all about with this new moon is that, there are different ways of looking at old situations. It's time to shed preconceived notions and baggage to let in the new, because the new wants to come in. We're under revolutionary times. Things are shifting, things are changing at a rapid rate, and Aquarius is that sign that does lend to the future, to moving forward, to innovative change. And I feel, and it's going to be a really good thing. Change is necessary, right? We get too comfortable, things start to get monotonous, and even though things can be chaotic right on the precipice of big change, I feel like that's where we're at right now. And in your personal life, you can be feeling that in a lot of different ways, especially centered around the groups that you're working within, the relationships that you're really involved in, right? And the most strong planetary configuration at this new moon is this Venus-Jupiter conjunction, which is really sweet. It's very expansive. So again, heart-centered, expansion, communication, feel good, energy, getting together with your friends if you can, wherever you are, doing things that you love, paying attention to what makes you feel good. But keep in mind that this moon is squaring Mars. Okay, I mentioned Mars earlier. The moon is squaring Mars. Moon is our emotion. Mars is our drive and our force. The moon's in Aquarius, Mars is in Taurus. They're squaring, so there's heat here. That could go for better or worse. So keep that in mind with the irritation aspect that could be coming up around the new moon. But other than that, overall, the energy does feel ramped up. There's a lot going on. There's things coming in. There's things going out, like a revolving door. And you just got to get on the hamster wheel right now and keep going. That's what it feels like lately, right? So I hope that made sense. I want to pull a tarot card for you for this new moon week ahead. I am going to come back with another video on the Saturn-Uranus energy because that's a biggie. We're going to have that hit exact on the 17th of February, but that is an energy that we are feeling all of 2021 into 2022. So I'll come back and do something separate on that. Let's just get a card for this new moon in Aquarius. Oh, and those that will really feel this time, this energy the strongest, or especially the new moon energy, would be the fixed signs, which are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. Specifically, if you have planets, not just the sun, but moon, ascendant, even the north node, if you have any of those at the degrees between 19 and 27 degrees of one of those fixed signs, especially if it's Aquarius, you will definitely be feeling this energy. Mucho. A lot more. But everyone's feeling it on some level. And everyone has, Aquarian energy in their chart. Even if you don't have the actual planet prominent, you have it somewhere in your chart, okay? And you can always go and look at astro.com and put your chart up for free so that you can see, these things yourself. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. So this is a card that's all about stepping back, retrograde, stepping back and reevaluating all that you've accumulated, all that you've done, all the work that you've put in. Yes, there's still more to do, because this is always a card of bringing more to fruition, and knowing that, yes, you've come so far. Don't get discouraged, because there's an element of discouragement with this card too, because it's an energy of, but I'm doing all these things and yet I still don't feel like I'm quite where I need to be, or I'm quite where I want to be. But you will get there. So just keep that in mind. You know, pay attention to all of your accomplishments. Be proud of yourself for all that you've done. Work through the karmic knots that are going to be coming up in your relationships, because they will be very present. You may even be feeling it right now. You may feel it more as the week continues and we go into next weekend. But again, just take really good care of yourselves, honor your truth, and that's all, guys. I will talk to you all real soon. Bye.